I've been on a life mission to identify less toxic, more tolerable, and more effective cancer therapies. And I thought of doing so by knowing the genes that are malfunctioning in cancer cells. But this idea was not my idea. It actually came from my grandmother. And believe it or not, she was born at the end of the 19th century. And she told me her first story about Watson and Crick and their discovery of DNA. She used to call them the young lions. Look at this picture here on her desk. The young lion found the secret that allows us to pass the genes from father to son. But she also reminded me it was a woman, Rosalind Franklin, that provided the key experiments to Watson and Crick to validate their theory that DNA was a double helix. Later on, I was about to decide what to study, and she became sick. She had cancer. She was given a chemotherapeutics. At the time, they knew it wouldn't help. I couldn't accept that. She was actually hopeful. And she said, you know, Carla, if you can decide what to study, I bet that the discovery of DNA and studying genes is going to revolutionize how we practice medicine. I left the hospital and I signed up for medical school. It was only 60, 70 years ago that people died of infections. And I feel that we're just at the right time, the right intersections of technologies. After medical school, I pursued a PhD at Rockefeller University in New York City, where working day and night wasn't an option, it was expected, but I was thrilled that I could finally study cancer genes with one of the fathers that discovered oncogenes. Only a few years ago, I had the luck to experiment with high-throughput screening, and was a secret that was kept in a small biotech right by Lake Union. And it is really the convergence of technologies that made it possible, coming together to enable to test every single gene in our genome, to test every single compound that we have sitting on the shelves. And so I set up the first screening facility of the Northwest at the University of Washington. We have today encouraging results in several cancer types, but I'm reminded very, very often that we don't have the means to really bring this to be widely used. I was on a phone call just last week with leading pediatricians in the East Coast, and I proposed, why don't we do this screen on children cancer, the ones that are incurable? And they said, Carla, there is no money for screens. And this is why we started Cure First. And remember that picture that my grandmother pointed to about Watson and Crick, their discovery of DNA. She predicted that this would happen, and in fact, Jim Watson himself was yesterday in our office. We spent 5 hours with him yesterday discussing about strategy of advancing cancer cures. And he supports Cure First. He supports our missions, and I'm asking you to help as well. I will not stop until this technology is broadly employed to pinpoint precise, less toxic cancer treatment.